People have made fun of my face, and when I don't smile, I look like I'm angry all the time, which I'm not.
It's a New York thing, man. Everybody goes through that. That's just something every New York does, because we understand the city. We can't go around smiling like.
Really?
We live in the city. We got to always stay on guard. That's what it is.
People got pocket knife in their pocket to protect themselves. All type of guys that keep themselves safe in New York, because you know why? They cannot even trust the police. That's how bad that is.
All right, folks. Welcome once again to the SMB Corner Podcast. My name is Marvin Smith. I got my tech buddy Olaiyani, and we're going to get into it today. We're going to talk about New York City is no longer my city anymore. Olaiyani, did you catch the State of the Union address?
No, at that time, I was on a channel where we had a serious conversation. And this was concerning about if black men safe more in this country. And we talk about most of the news article that popped up or broadcast that came on Walmart on filter. And it became a very serious big deal to us. So I didn't even watch it afterward because I heard some of the clip that pissed a lot of people off. And some of these black YouTube content creators were talking about it. I was like, I'm not going to be surprised. I want to touch that topic another time because it was something I've been telling people for 15, 20 years about not utilizing their voting power properly. I predicted things was going to happen in advance. That when people remember what I said, they're like, well, you were right. You did warn us about it. I think that's what I'm trying to explain to you guys. You're not waking up. You're acting like you're woke. You're still sleeping.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch it this weekend.
Yeah.
I want to watch it in a way where I can take note and what he said, put out the pros and the cons. So this way, when I dissect it on another conversation, I can let people know this is why you didn't pay attention to what I've been saying for years. I wasn't in the YouTube space for years, but as I've been on the real street for real, interacting with people, I'm letting people know you got bamboozled a long time ago. Just that you didn't see it coming.
Yeah. I mean, I watched the State of the Union. I didn't watch all of it, but I did a recap, went back, watched majority of it. And two things out of that State of the Union caught my eye. We mentioned in episode 2 that we're going to drop soon that the U.S. has bad infrastructure. So Biden in his address said the United States is ranked 13th in the world with bad infrastructure as far as countries that have bad infrastructure. So, I mean, for our audience, when we say infrastructure, we're talking about, roads, cables, everything like that. And the country, when I looked at the list, I'm going to share my screen in a few minutes. When I looked at the list of countries that have the best infrastructure, Singapore is at the top, with the best infrastructure. You can see it right here on the screen. Singapore is at the top. Netherlands number 2. Hong Kong is number 3. Switzerland is 4. Japan is 5. South Korea is 6, and so forth and so forth. And at number 13, which is lower than the United Kingdom, the U.S. is 13, ranked 13 in the world for its ranking in global infrastructure. This is crazy. I can understand that Singapore is ranked number 1 because they're still a growing nation. They're still new. But the fact that U.S. ranks 13th, it shows that we've got to put some work in. Powers to be got to put some work in and get U.S. back to within the top 5, pretty much. Yeah, it is what it is.
Put it back up because I want to talk about that. Put that screen back up.
All right.
You talk about infrastructure. I've been seeing it for almost 2 decades.
Yeah.
Look at the top 7.
Top 7, yeah. Okay.
Singapore, Netherlands, Hong Kong, Switzerland, Japan, South Korea, and Spain. They be on top of their game since the early 2000s. While I've been seeing program of stuff they were doing was so ahead of the game. Those 7 countries, including Germany, it's like back and forth with Spain.
Yeah.
They did what they did. I remember back in the late 90s, the road infrastructure in general was uniquely different from our road. They're already preparing the car to work with a particular chip to let them know on the GPS. While they're driving, and there's a huge amount of traffic, they'll get that signal in advance so they can divert them to and take a different route to avoid.
Okay.
That was late 90s. We're in
late
2022.
And we don't even have that yet.
And I grasped myself like, what the hell is going on? Singapore, Hong Kong, Japan, South Korea. These are Asian countries that don't play games.
Yeah.
Truth to be told, Japan, Barack Obama talked about Japan. Come on. When this guy won his second term, the first or second term, he brought up their name. Japan is in the forefront, building their infrastructure, getting better bridge, getting better road, getting better this. Japan was one of the most advanced countries who were prepared for hurricane and tsunami, but they got hit by both at the same time, but still, they're working on making it even better.
Yeah.
South Korea, dude. Samsung home. Talk about the home of Samsung.
Home of
what
Samsung,
do you expect?
yeah. Yep.
Hong Kong. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
The Netherlands? I've been seeing it for the longest. But here's what I tell black people. Why are you putting in the wrong people in office that don't have your best interest? And here's what I'm glad I want to paint the picture, because when we have this poor infrastructure and you're pushing heavy on the cloud, do you think your infrastructure can support cloud technology? You're putting the cart before the horse. Are you kidding me? What are you thinking? Is this a joke? The UK can support cloud better than we do. And they got camera, real talk, I'm throwing the shade. UK got camera on almost in every corner in any state. When a crime take place, they can pull it up. You don't see all the movies that be talking about how they pull up the camera and see what happened, want to see when it happened. We don't even have that infrastructure in one of the greatest city of the world, New York City. Hello. How the city great? But the subway sucks as hell.
Exactly.
They go out to Japan. Japan's subway is so damn clean. You can eat ramen noodle off the floor.
Exactly.
I'm a heavy anime fan, and the type of stuff, a picture I've been seeing by Japan subway, it made us look real bad, like real talk. Let's not play around with this infrastructure conversation. This is the problem. If you think I'm joking, the top 8, look back the past 2 decades, what's been going on in their country. While that is going on, compare what was going on in the U.S. and tell me why that is happening. Then what I have my partner hold that screen up so we can pinpoint, let you know what the hell is going on. Singapore, Hong Kong, Switzerland, Japan, South Korea, Germany, those are tech countries. I'll say it again.
Yeah, those are definitely tech countries.
Tech countries. They are the head of the game for a reason.
Yeah.
We pushing so much technology in this country, but we don't have the infrastructure to support it properly. How that making any sense, guys? I will be that buddy here on this channel and want to paint the picture so y'all can see the big picture, because we need to stop playing around with ourselves. They be talking about infrastructure how many times in politics in this country?
Oh, for as long as I can remember, every president
let's throw the gauntlet. I'm glad we're talking about let's throw the gauntlet out right now.
Yeah.
I know we're not talking tech, but we're talking reality. How often are you be hearing in the United States politics about infrastructure, this, infrastructure, that? Had they jump on it? Had they capitalize on it? People, when you become a consuming country, you fail. I will say it again. Well, you be one of the biggest producing country in the world.
Yeah, so Biden actually went into that in his State of the Union, that we've got to get back to manufacturing again.
Why is Joe Biden going behind my back, stealing my talking point? I should be the president. Hello. I've been saying this. I'm not taking a jab at him, but I'm like, yo, stop playing games, man.
Yeah.
Stop. You know you have so much debt in the country because you're outsourcing almost literally everything out.
Exactly.
This is why, if you're pushing the tech world right now, you got to take a pause before you jump on this. How you want to build a house with no foundation?
Exactly.
Yes, I am David Olaiyani, but in the YouTube street, I'm known as Black David CBN. I speak the type of way because I see the jokes, I see the game. And when I speak the way I speak, people look at me like, why? I'm letting you guys know. You play too much game with yourself and thinking that, oh, it's no big deal. It's a big deal. There's the reason why the job market is going wishy-washy. They're pushing something too quick, but don't have the foundation to support it.
Yeah.
That's why I have my up to see this. So you look at, for all you guys who watch this broadcast, the top 10 countries, do your homework. Look into their infrastructure. Look at what they've been doing for the past 2 decades. Why are they on the top 10 and we nowhere near the top 10? And mind you, Belgium about to pass us.
Yeah.
Denmark will pass us soon. Italy, yeah, they had their own issue. Sweden can catch up. Czech, I'm not worried about the Czech Republic. But I mentioned these 2 countries, Belgium and Denmark, they can pass us.
Yeah.
Taiwan, that's a whole political issue between them and China. That's the reason why they're on the 16th place. I get it. If you notice, of all the top 10, where's China at?
That's true. I mean,
I'm glad we talk about that. That's a whole different conversation at it whole, because as you point out these things, these people were not playing around. They created, when they were building their infrastructure for their nation, they created so much job to keep a lot of people busy.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's so much work to be done when we want to build the infrastructure of the nation. So much work. So you don't got time to play games. You're looking for work? You want to do something? Here, there's a spot for you right here. You need something to do? Here, there's a spot for you over there. So if you want to fix the economy, stop playing game with the jobs.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, like I said, I'm surprised China didn't make the list, but
that's why I say hold that thing back up in there, because as we talking, as we painting these pictures, people not start to catch on, but like, wait, where's China at? Oh yeah, where did China? What China doing?
Yeah, China right now is in a mass development. They're pretty much putting in the work.
Yeah, but it's still far behind.
Yeah,
and that's the reason why they're not catching, because they realize all that nonsense they were doing, it was not beneficial to them. It was not working for them. It was hurting them. They don't want to be like North Korea. Hello.
Yeah.
Newsflash. Here's another question. Where is Russia in this?
That's true. I'm
throwing these intellectual jab out there so people could start thinking. We are in the computer age. We've been in the computer age for how long, Marvin? How long have we been in the computer age so far?
We've been in this for a while. We're still in the beginning though. You know, we haven't even touched on.
My co-host said we've been in the beginning for a while now. When you've been in the computer age, you got to have the solid infrastructure to keep it up and floating, not crumbling and whereby it goes to sink. Texas, when they had that power outage across the state, how many corporations had generator to keep their facility working so the server don't shut down and they lose money?
Oh, having a generator is standard when you got data.
So when that happened and a whole state shut down, that looked bad.
That definitely looked bad. I mean, you would figure, like, I know we're going to get into this later on in the podcast, like, but Texas did come up as one of the top states to start a business. But when they had that electrical issue, it kind of just made you look like they have weak electrical infrastructure, because something like that should never have happened in such a big state.
Thank you.
There should have been redundancies to keep that from happening.
Thank you. You can take this off right now, because what I had out there for a reason was to paint the picture. I had to paint the picture for my audience, because we need to re-educate ourselves and enlighten ourselves properly to see what's really going on. I'm not just speaking on talking point. I'm speaking on what I've been observing and I've been researching over the years, because I was a guy who wanted to move to Japan. Real talk, I didn't want to be here. I know you guys looking at me like, what do you mean? Looking at Japan infrastructure, it got me saying, I wish I could relocate and move out there and observe and look at what they're doing and learn from them. They're the reason why they're in the top 5 for a reason.
Yeah.
Same as South Korea. Those are 2 countries I really wanted to live at, because they were pushing the envelope. We'll talk.
Oh, of course.
Well, I want to be in a country they're not pushing the envelope. They're not challenging people. They're playing games.
Yeah.
While our infrastructure was going bad, they're dumbing down the educational system.
Yep.
These top 7 will never dumb down the educational system. They know I want to have solid, able workers who can do the task at hand required for them to fulfill.
Yeah.
As I'm connecting the dots, as I'm connecting the string, I'm like, you guys see the bigger picture. I'm removing the blind nut off your eye. I know no one will watch your eye for you guys. I'm watching your eye with detergent. I'm knocking all that dirt and going off your eye so you can see the big picture, because we need to talk about this.
Yeah.
Carry on, my co-host, because I want to go too in and lose.
So he also talked about, he made a little reference about Americans, they've got to get back into the office, start working again. Now, and I know the mayor of New York, there was a news article from, I'm trying to remember what post, the NY Post, that says New Yorkers he's asking the top companies to start making people come back into the office and start working again. But my thing with this mayor, again, it's still early. I'm not going to bash him. I'm just looking at what he's doing so far. You're talking about people's got to come back into the office to work. But yet our subways, it's filled with people, homeless people that just left, whatever mental institution. I remember during the beginning of the pandemic, I'm going into the city and I'm seeing crackheads shoot up literally on the platform, shooting up. I remember I sat there on the train and I saw a crackhead basically just shooting up right there on the platform. And I'm like, wow, you're not even clearing up crime in the city. You're not clearing any of this up, but yet you're demanding people to come back into the office, start working, so these companies could pay their $10,000 a month office rent. And when you look at the situation of, we're in the era of the cloud, you're a small company. Why have your employees travel an hour or 2 hours to come into a city that's not safe, that's not clean, why do that? You could have them work from home. They could be relaxed. They could still be productive, but you're still thinking about, oh, people's got to come back into the office. They've got to start working again. Who says you can't work from home? I get it. Every job you can't work from home because certain jobs don't require you have to be out there in the public. But still, when you're out there in the public, you're not safe. Anybody could just walk in. There was another article I was reading where a lady who owns a coffee shop here in New York City in Harlem, I don't want to say it's a homeless man, but a man that's from, probably left a mental treatment center, walks butt naked into the coffee shop, demanding free coffee. When he got the free coffee, he got upset and starts beating up the lady's husband. So not only you're in a situation where you have somebody who's mentally unstable walking into your business, but this person's butt naked in the view of kids, and you're telling me that people got to come back to work in this nonsense. So again, I'm not bashing him. It's only his first 100 days in office. So
I get it. I'll do the bashing. If anyone went to my LinkedIn profile and noticed something, I used to work with MTA for almost 2 years. Now, working on the MTA, they had a new transit president who came from Toronto. Transport system was one of the best in the world. There was an article about how it was known, because everybody working at MTA knew what was going on. He was pushing to clean out the subway system of the homeless people, the people on drugs. The exec was like, oh, no, we can't do that. The man was telling like, what do you mean we can't do that? We're providing a service for the people who are paying to commute to and from
work,
the place of work, to their place of home, to their place of business, and etc. And it's our responsibility to maintain these services so they can enjoy their commute. Why can we not remove these people off the train, off the platform, so these people who are paying for this service can feel at peace? Keyword, feel at peace. You want to invite tech companies into New York State, especially New York City. And the tech company, the employee don't want to feel trouble on their way to work, worrying about what would happen to them in the next couple of seconds, because you have unwanted obstacle on their path to commuting.
Exactly.
That's number one. Number two, sometimes these subway cars are not properly clean. Yep. It has the kind of smell, not even a dog can stay in it. Hello. Yeah. Number three, what are the police force? Multiple train stations that when we want to make sure they're present, that they keep us safe and to deter such people. What happened to that?
Yeah.
Number four, you put to have cameras working in every train station so you can see what the hell is going on. I'm saying all these things because, for one, that guy had the game plan to fix up MTA and make it better. The fact that they did not let the guy do his job because he made Toronto one of the best transportation porthole subways in the world. So when you interfere with a guy who knows the hell he's doing, and you had nobody who could do the job what he was doing, and you want to strain on him, take away his power, and say, no. You hired the guy to do the job. You let him do this job. You threw your weight around, act like you know better. If you knew better, why you bring him here in the first place? Yeah. Let's be logical here. Andrew Cuomo, you screwed up. I'll say it again. Andrew Cuomo, you screwed up. If you let this guy do his job, not only would I save MTA transit system in the proper way, you could have opened a door that more tech company would feel more comfortable of coming here. Let's paint the big picture. MTA was one piece of the problem. The other people at NYPD, where were they present at? What were they doing the whole time? I used to live in Philadelphia. It is almost impossible for them to see a homeless person in this transportation hub because they're not allowing it. But Philadelphia is not as big as New York City. I repeat, Philadelphia is not as big as New York City. You are New York City, the headquarters of the financial district. How do you expect people to commute to work through the MTA transport system and not have that sign of fear, like, no, I want to work from home?
Exactly. And we didn't even get into
Mr. Mayor, if you watch this broadcast, you're putting a cart before the horse. You're looking real stupid. I'm calling you out. And you a black brother? Yeah, I'm calling you out. Don't be making no announcement you want everybody to come back to work if you haven't cleaned the road for them in the first place.
Oh, of course.
This is my face. This is my face. The reason I'm telling you this, other nations are doing better than us for a reason. You don't do things backwards. Want people to come back to work? Clean up the subway first. Completely. Yeah. If you can't do that, give it to the people in MTA who are not doing their job. And find people who are capable of doing their job and let them do the job first.
Yeah.
That's number one. Number two, since you're a former police officer, picked up the NYPD. You can't expect people to come to work if there's no proper deterrent to keep people safe.
Exactly. And we didn't even get into cities' crime stats, subway crime stats. Nobody feels safe in the city.
You know what I'm saying? That in MTA, there's a branch called the MTA PD. They are part of NYPD. I used to work for NYPD too, because in their command center located in the Bronx, they have a section whereby they have communication between MTA and back. So anything that goes wrong, they don't have to call 911. They can hit that particular switch and go straight to the command center or the call center, and they can send the people who need to get there quickly as possible, notify them. I had to connect the pieces. I had to paint the picture. I'm not breaking no law. I'm just saying you want to bring people back to work, back into office, but you are not doing what needed on your part. You do your part first. You clean the road first. Then people can when they come back to work. You can't go back to work and endanger themselves just for the sake of to pay a bill. No, thank you.
Just to pay overpriced office rent. That's another issue right there.
Like, come on. Like, you're not making any sense. You're not being logical.
Yeah.
You sound like a boss. You're not a leader. There are two types of things. There's boss and there's leader. You lead by example. What example are you leading by? Real talk. I can't call you a leader because you're not. A lot of political people in the office, they're not leaders. They don't lead by example. They're nothing but bosses pretending to be leaders. They don't know what a leader really is.
Yeah.
Yet I call you all you politicians out. Don't ever call yourself a leader. If you're not leading by example, don't call yourself a leader. You're nothing but a boss. Pretend to be a leader. Okay? We'll talk.
Exactly. So on top of that, we've got overpriced office space. There's a YouTuber that pretty much has a channel dedicated to this. He has a small PC repair shop. He repairs MacBooks, things like that. And he was looking for office space, retail storefront space for his new shop. But all the spaces he was going to, they were extremely overpriced. The conditions were basically horrible. I think one storefront realtor was asking for, somewhere about maybe $20,000 a month or $10,000 a month for a space that wasn't even fully renovated.
Are you joking?
Oh, no. His channel, it has all of this. And that's another thing about New York is like, if you're a company, not say if you're a big tech company, why would you come here and spend that much on office space? That doesn't make any sense to me. If you have the financial backing, fine. But, when you look at the grand scheme of things, you're a small company. You're supposed to hold on to your cash as long as possible, make it stretch. You want to blow your whole budget just on office space in a neighborhood that's not even clean or safe? I don't get it. He has that mindset of, people's got to come back into the city, but yet city is not even clean, not even safe, And
then what I say, he's not a leader. He's just a boss. He's bossing people around, but he's not really a real leader. The idea of people calling him a political leader, no, you're not a political leader. You're a political boss. Let's correct that thinking. Yet I was started here on this channel. All you guys on YouTube, when you listen to me, don't call these people political leaders. Call them political bosses. Because leaders lead by example. Bosses don't. When they tell you to do something, they can't do it themselves. Mike Bloomberg was a fake leader. Oh, I joined the subway, but he had security. Secret Service.
Yeah.
Let's be real, guys. Yeah. I'm not gully. I'm from New York. I'm from Brooklyn. I don't play the game here. Real talk. But when I see these jokers of people claiming to be leaders and nothing but boss and not doing proper example, why would I believe you? I'm surprised a lot of people got caught on to the okie drinking their Kool-Aid. Man, are you that gullible? For real? Do I need to be hood for you to understand me? I don't need to be hood, but I'm speaking in real. They're not leaders. Let's stop it. They're political bosses.
I love seeing that whenever you see a mayor taking the subway, he's got a lot of security and he feels safe because he's got a lot of security. So that's some funny.
How many people can go on a subway with a lot of security for themselves?
Exactly.
Hello, Bloomberg. I'm calling you out. I'm not throwing you under the bus. I'm throwing you under the subway.
Oh, de Blasio did that too. You will see him on the subway.
A bunch of security. Yo, yeah, you feel safe. Remove the security. See how safe you really feel, my brother.
Exactly.
Come on. Who you playing?
I mean, we could complain because we're New Yorkers. We've lived in this. But it's just like the fact that the city's got to do better. The city's got to have more resources. It's just got to do better. because already I know a lot of people up and left New York, up and left the state completely. So if you want to retain talent, you want to retain these companies, three things got to be done. It's like, got to deal with the subway, got to deal with the crime, and something's got to be done about these overpriced office spaces. Seriously.
Not just the overpriced office spaces that is part of the problem. The overpriced apartment standard of living. That's the other side of the problem.
Yeah.
Real talk. You can play the game all you want, but I'm calling everybody out. I could tell it I hurt your feelings. I hope this broadcast hit the news one day and they see me calling you guys out because you guys are not being genuine. You're being fake as hell. Real talk. From going forward, there's going to be a new trend. You guys are not political leaders. You're political bosses. You just tell people to do things, but you can't do it your damn self.
Yeah.
That needs to stop. I got sick and tired of the thing for 2 decades straight when people call themselves leaders and they're not even leading by example. Like, come on, who are you playing? Yeah, I'm from Brooklyn. I grew up in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
You look at the dictionary what a leader is and look at the dictionary what a boss is, you'll find out these so-called political leaders are not leaders at all. They're just nothing but bosses. Call a spade a spade. Real talk. Let's stop the shenanigans. I don't call nobody a political leader if you're not leading by example. When you're not leading by example, you don't have the right to call yourself a leader. You're just a boss. All right?
Yeah.
I'm a tech guy who's been there, seen it, and I see people lie to themselves, they call themselves leaders, but nothing but bosses dictating orders, but wouldn't do it their damn self. Like, come on, stop it.
Yeah, man. And then you got cities that are basically competing for talent. Like right now, there are better states out there that's looking for, entrepreneurs to come and set up their business. I'm going to share a link. So right now we got 15 best cities outside of Silicon Valley and the East Coast to build your startup in 2022. Austin, Texas, Boulder, Colorado, Miami, Florida, Los Angeles, and San Francisco. Those are two iffies because those two states are pretty expensive. You got Utah, Las Vegas, Denver, Seattle, Chicago, Salt Lake City, St. Louis, Detroit, Nashville, and Atlanta. So when you look at cost of living in these states, I would say cost of living in Texas in general is pretty reasonable. Boulder, I don't know about that, but Miami is expensive. Florida itself is getting expensive. Los Angeles, San Francisco, those are the two most expensive cities on the West Coast.
Let me jump on that part because somebody told me this and I thought it was a joke. The amount you pay for a 2-bedroom apartment here, the amount they pay for a garage apartment in Doe area, I was like, tell me you're lying. People are living
it's expensive.
People are living in their cars right now. People looking for an old school bus to make mobile home for them damn self because the cost of rent is too damn high.
When you think about it, you said that last week, like living off the grid. So if you could save majority of your paycheck, not just for living, and not spending majority of that on rent, I see that as a good thing. A lot of people are moving into like mobile homes, mobile vans. They still have access to the internet. They still have access to utilities, paying bills online, things like that. I could definitely understand that. Why pay, $2,500 for a 1-bedroom or even a studio when you could live off of that, but being mobile? Nobody wants to spend majority of their check just on rent.
And I'm glad you mentioned that because in the YouTube street right now, there's been a trend whereby there's a lot of DIY, where people are making a mobile home or building a smaller home for themselves because they realize the cost of living is not making any sense whatsoever. It's not adding up.
It's not adding up.
This is why I say you people in the past, be careful who you put into office because they're screwing you guys over. Real talk. Because if California would probably be the tech haven of IT, it's becoming too expensive to live. Like people have to move in people's garage. People have to live in their car, or to get a big van or an old school bus to tear out and make a mobile home so the cost of living can be brought down for them to be comfortable. Then there's a problem. When people who are working for these big corporations cannot afford to keep up with the standard of living and they have to squatter with other people, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make no sense for these overpriced spaces that not worth the cost of it.
Not at all.
That is highway robbery, and I'm calling out to as well.
San Francisco right now is like they're in a housing crisis. A lot of people are basically going homeless because they can't afford the rent. San Francisco, LA, that has a big issue with homeless people. LA, certain parts of LA, you got people just basically camping out on the sidewalk because that's all they could afford to have right now.
So this is why I have a problem with the list, because when you mentioned Los Angeles, California, San Francisco, California, are looking for entrepreneurs to do their startup. How you would do a startup in the city that people have a problem finding a space to live? That don't make no sense. So they need to redo that list. To be honest, it doesn't add up. It doesn't make any sense. People are leaving New York City in massive droves. It's about to become a ghost town. I'm about to join. Yeah. I'm going to Atlanta. Yeah, I put it out there. I'm trying to move to Atlanta. Anybody in the YouTube space who want to help my brother? I'm trying to find me a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment. Let me know. We'll talk, because these shenanigans have gone too far.
Of course. With these cities like, Los Angeles, San Francisco. So San Francisco has majority, that's where Twitter is. A few other tech companies are out there. But the problem is like when these tech companies come in, they drive up the price of real estate because they know that these developers and engineers, they can't afford it. But for the average people, average workers, they're not going to afford high rent like that. This is just one list. I'm sure there's another list out there, but I know Utah, Las Vegas, those are 2 good cities. Cost of living is pretty decent. I don't know about Las Vegas as far as the rent situation, but Las Vegas is pretty big. Nevada is a big state. So
Chicago, Illinois, I remember working out there doing one of my traveling IT jobs, and I check out their rent costs. It's slightly expensive than New York City. Slightly.
Chicago?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm not feeling that. Detroit, Michigan. Keyword, Michigan.
Yeah.
And even though it's close to Canada, that's the former headquarters of the auto industry. I think that's the best spot to start off first. Take some of these former industry land that haven't been used, tear it down completely, build up again, and build up a new community altogether as one. Michigan needs that work. That's supposed to be on top of the list. Due to the cost of living is much lower over there. It's just that you need to create an avenue that people can get themselves back into the workforce again. Feel alive, that they're doing something for themselves. Manufacturing, yes, you can do the manufacturing over there. Take some of these unused land that have been left there for a decade, abandoned, flip it upside down and do something big with it. That can be done. When you create a lot of jobs, you drive down the crime rate. When people are working and making an honest living, no one's going crazy. This is something that the top 7 countries that you put up there did. Let's be real, guys. When you start creating real jobs for people to get a job and work, you reduce the crime rate, you reduce the headache. The U.S. government is not even trying to do that. And our biggest number one issue within the United States is the police force. Besides NYPD, when you don't have a proper police force, they're not doing a proper job, they're not properly trained, why would someone want to come to your state and live there if they cannot check your police force? I don't want to sidetrack their conversation, because what I saw on Thursday on Willamette and on Filter, it got me worked up about this weekend.
What was he talking about?
There was a promising lawyer who had a bachelor's degree and his master's degree, about to take the bar examination, got shot up in front of his home by a police officer. Somebody would accuse him of a crime, and his lawyer called him. The guy called earlier that he would turn himself in because he needed to understand what the hell is going on. Then he had 2 or 3 unmarked police cars just drove up and did a drive-by.
Wow.
And this is in Texas.
In Texas.
So I'm not sure Texas should be a state for tech companies when you have crappy police department. They can do a proper job. A brain drain, bachelor degree, master degree, top of his class, trying to take the bar exam, and you take him out for what?
Because he was wrongfully accused.
No criminal record, nothing.
Yeah.
Tell me how you explain that you took out a highly educated person. I'll say it again. They took out a highly educated person. So why should a tech company be going in that area to begin with?
Exactly.
Yet I'm blowing you. See my face. I'm blowing you guys' spot out. Want to be stupid? I'm not the one to mess with. I'm not.
Yeah, but that is true. It's like, why bring a tech company knowing poorly trained police officers? That's another thing Biden talked about. He basically said instead of defunding the police, we need to fund them with better training. There should be basically for every, police organization in every city, there should be a civilian oversight.
I'm sorry. When I hear that, it sounds a little stupid. For how many years did we talk about better training? Let's be real with ourselves here. I'm glad we're having this conversation on our tech channel. How long have they been talking about better police training? For how long have we heard it on the news?
Yeah, I remember hearing that all the time. Yeah.
And there was an incident that they got put on the spot when 4 police officers from Holland defused a situation on the MTA subway system without shooting two people, and it did it in a way but the whole people in the subway car had a standing ovation saying, yeah, this is how you put to be a real police. And they're police officers on vacation in New York City showing NYPD how to do a proper job. I did not forget that incident a couple of years back. I don't let things go.
I think they were from Switzerland or Germany.
Either Switzerland or Germany, either one of those.
Okay.
But they were well trained and better trained than our NYPD.
Exactly. They were on vacation. They took down I think the person had a knife. They basically took him down without even hurting him, not even injuring themselves. Took this person down.
They diffused the situation. They escalated the situation so down to the bottom. They got both of the people calm. If you want to talk about police training, can I be someone from here? Bring from one of the best police stations in the world who got better training. Let them come over here and show you how to do it properly. Because I'm not buying all this better police training nonsense. Because you've been talking about it for far too long, and you still haven't got it correctly. Yeah. Because for the past 3 years now, how many police stations or police states have been put on the map for bad policing? Let's be real here.
Yeah, the list pretty much goes on.
So when they're doing all this conversation, all this, need to be better training from where? Like this bamboozled, having to put a finger on something when these people go on national TV speaking this garbage. And there are people watching you like, how many times have they been saying this so far? Oh, we're going to need better police training. We need to get better. We heard the same record play being played over and over and over and over, and nothing being done.
But there are people who fall for it, so that's the problem.
How much Kool-Aid lace juice do you keep on shove down our throat, thinking that we won't believe what you're saying? Like, come on. I got off the train 25 years ago. I've been awake for far too long, seeing the clear picture that it is, and asking questions. And I thought people think I was the crazy one. 25, I wasn't crazy at all. I was way too beyond the game. And everybody now catching on like, come on, like, are you serious? Stop the lie, please.
Yeah, I mean, that's the pretty much what was the gist of his whole State of the Union. Wasn't really saying anything serious, but we touched on those topics in our second episode. What gets me about New York is just like, it just keeps getting worse. It's not getting better. The pandemic pretty much cleared majority of New York out, and people don't want to come back because it's not safe, it's not clean, and this mayor that we have, he's just, he's clueless. Not really saying anything.
Clueless. Just say clueless.
So
I'm not being political. I'm not being political correct. I'm just saying that today. Being clueless because this pandemic not only exposed the major flaw in this city, it exposed so many cracks in their so-called armor they have. That it's not even an armor at all. I don't need a hammer to crack the armor of New York City. I just need a pencil. And will fall apart. Yeah. Here's the problem with New York City. We are being bamboozled by the fake mayors who say they want to do something about the city and only make matter worse. That's one. Key component to make New York City strong and efficient has not been properly managed for the past 2 decades. I say it again. The key infrastructures, the key point of New York City to make it strong and efficient have not been managed for 2 decades. Yeah. We have one of the biggest transportation hub.
Oh, of course.
And they're pure garbage. Once again, we are one of the biggest transportation hub in the world, and it's pure garbage. And you're being caught with mismanagement of the funds for far too long. We saw on the New York Post and Daily News how many people in the MTA were clocking overtime or were never in these sites to begin with, robbing the system. Let's talk about that. I was a contract worker for MTA. As a contract worker, we don't get overtime that easy. You know how much red tape you had to go through before you get approved overtime? How many layers of overtime? As a contractor in MTA, I'm speaking up for all the contract workers in MTA who have been crapped on for so many years. They've been contract working for 9, 10, 5 years and haven't got fully hired yet. By the time you get hired, you're like, what, in your 40s. Then how many years do you have left to work before you get your real pension? I'm throwing the gauntlet out there. I don't feel like MTA is not one of the place to work for. MTA don't invite brains to come over and work and help build the system. They invite scandal. They invite scammers. I worked there for 2 years. And I'm like, they make me want to walk out. Like, it's not motivating. You can do a far excellent job working in MTA, and they will use you and abuse you. I say that. I worked there for 2 years. I went above and beyond. Everywhere I go to provide proper customer service and what I do at the tech. And I noticed they don't care about that. When I saw that new transit person who came from Toronto, I met him in person. I'm from Montreal, Canada. I was born in Montreal, Canada. I was like, wow, a Canadian. Maybe we'll help clean up this system.
Yeah.
When I see the crap they did to him and he had to walk out, like, this man had to go around to understand the system first before he make moves. You want to know, before I clean, let me see what the problem is. He approached it like a tech. He's trying to analyze the problem first. So he started making a plan how you're going to fix it one by one. And while he was doing that and trying to find a solution to the problem, what happened? You had all this other extra red tape trying to hold his hand. No. That's not, no, wait. You hired me to do a job. Then let me do my job then. Why are you holding my hand for? If that was the case, I don't need to be here.
So let's talk about that. What was some of the roadblocks that they put in his way?
He was implementing some plan to clean out the subway system. He made it clear in one of his meetings that we need to give it to all the homeless people. Some of the executives like, oh, we can't do that, X, Y, Z. But you say you want me to clean up the system and make it better than what it is. And to do that, we had to give it to the homeless people off the subway platform, off the train. He said he roamed the train. He went about and he heard people complain. You can't be having homeless people sleeping on the train and they don't pay for the service. We have people want to pay for the service to commute back and forth. What sense does that make?
Exactly.
These homeless people need to put in an institution that keep them safe. But you're not protecting your customers. Are you serious?
Exactly. Everyday workers that travel back and forth.
That pay for your service. You can't protect your own customer, but want to protect the homeless that don't pay for the service.
Don't pay for the service.
MTA became the homeless shelter. I repeat, MTA became the homeless shelter.
Yep.
So when the MTA, the homeless shelter, then why should everybody come out to work in the first place? Why would they take their subway? Why would they take their buses? Now it's even worse. People are afraid of the rising crime in the subway train.
Of course.
A guy smashed feces in a woman's face while she sit on the platform waiting for the train. Explain that to me, sir.
Nobody wants to come back to that. That's what I'm telling you.
So many scenarios that could take place in MTA, and you're telling people to come back to work. Mr. Mayor, before you run your damn mouth about telling people to come back to work, clean up the system first. Let us see you doing the job. No photo op. When you clean up the system, then people can actually come to work.
Yeah.
I could kill this video go viral, but this needs to stop. This shenanigan needs to stop. You're not fooling nobody. Come back to work, but yet who will get stabbed? Who will get robbed? Who got feet thrown in their face? Stop the nonsense. This is why they don't want to live in New York anymore. People want to leave. If New York City becomes a ghost town, it's going to be your fault, Mr. Mayor. You're trying to be a leader, but you act like a boss. You're just bossing people around. You're not really a leader. Mm-hmm. You haven't even fixed the NYPD yet, but you ain't want people to come into New York City when these people not doing their job to deter the crime. Why is there so much of rise in crime right now in the city? Explain that to me, Mr. Mayor.
And another thing is just like, there's so many gangs in this city. It's like, it's crazy. Where did all these fucking gangs come from?
Let's not talk about the gang right now, because that gang I got caught scamming the unemployment. I got caught on the news.
Yeah.
Like, this is becoming a joke. All these things happen because, one, certain facility don't have the funding. You put all that money in the NYPD, but you can't put all that money into the Board of Education. I say it again. You put all that money for better police training in the NYPD, but you can put that same kind of money into the Board of Education to get better education, get better teacher, properly trained teacher, to get better facility.
Yeah.
Explain that to me.
Let's look at it from de Blasio when he was mayor. I remember a point where I didn't even realize that we had a new mayor in New York, and his name was de Blasio. That's because, I don't know, there was just a point where I was just tuned out to the issues of the city. But
you're not alone. Almost every New Yorker who have been here for more than 2 decades got fed up with this election of so-called candidates for mayor, because we look at them like all jokers. De Blasio won 2 terms and barely doing much of anything. But the candidate he was going against, I'm like, what can you guys do anyway? Because y'all the same thing that wasn't making any sense to us, and we scratching our head like, what the heck is going on here? Are they trying to play us for a fool or something? Like, we stupid? Are y'all really for real? You took us as a joke, so we're going to put you in the office and make our life a living hell? They were the problem with the election when it comes to the mayor of New York City. These candidates don't come to our neighborhood for us to question them, to call them out. But you want to be mayor, but you got no real plan to fix the city. I've been in New York City since the early 80s.
Yeah, I've been in New York since the 80s, too.
I went to PS 20, PS 11, Sarah J. Hill High School. That's the name of a few of the institutions that you have here in New York City. Sarah J. Hill High School was one of the worst high schools in New York City, got teared down and given a new name.
Yeah.
With rival John Jay High School. I forgot what the new name is, but that school was real bad. I remember they had metal detectors back then. So yeah, I'm a real New Yorker. I know what it's like out here. But when you hear too much nonsense for far too long, you tune them out. What Marvin said told you too. You tune them out. The people got so fed up with the city, they just tune out and just focus on their grind. Their main focus to take care of their family. Now that is bad. And when I say that is bad,
Yeah.
because when you have New Yorkers who live here for far too long and don't trust the people in office, and a huge number don't come out to vote. I did come out to vote and try to vote for the right person, hoping that they'll do the job. But still, when they come down to that place where nobody trusts nobody, that is bad. There's a problem. And this new mayor, I promise you, you got a huge roadblock ahead of you.
Yeah. He does. He's got a huge roadblock.
If you can't unite New Yorkers to believe what you're saying, you already failed already.
Because I think when de Blasio was in office and when he left a lot of stuff undone. So with this new mayor that's coming in, he's got a lot of work that he needs to do. And then starting off with everybody has to come back to the office is not a good start, to be honest.
And on starting off, you're practicing nepotism already? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm calling you out again. I'm not that gullible person. I'm David Olaiyani, a.k.a. Canadian-born Nigerian, a.k.a. Black David. I'm in the Black YouTube space. I have a way of speaking whereby I'm cut through the nonsense. I'm telling you the truth in your face. Unfiltered. Stop the nonsense. You're a new mayor right now.
You got a lot of
people
work
to come back to New York, come back to work when the road to work is too dangerous already to begin with. Who want to risk their life for that?
No one.
So when you tell people that, you're telling people, know what? Do it to New York City. Let's move out of here. We don't need this. That's what you're doing. You started off in a very bad foot. Take that foot back. Think your game plan again. Before you want people to come back to New York, you need to fix the subway and the police department first. Two key factors that will bring people back to the workforce. Number 3. Get the right medical professionals to let us know what the hell is going on with New York City and the COVID. Because right now, I'm not trusting no political nonsense that this hanky panky. Because when it comes to COVID's a virus. I don't care about who you are. They don't play the race card. I got all my shot, got all my booster shot. I'm still going to wear face masks.
Of course, yeah.
I don't wear face mask in my house because I trust my house. And to be out of my household, I don't play games. So all the things when we do the restriction, dude, one of my favorite merchandise I wanted to purchase, the website went down, Vinta.co. I don't know what happened. I looked into it. There's some kind of scandal. They were delivering their product. They had one of the best ideas ever, but they didn't capitalize on it properly.
What was it, like a full cover face mask?
A full cover face mask with a HEPA filter at the bottom, HEPA filter at the top.
Oh, okay.
It was a real deal.
Yeah.
It was a great idea. I see great potential, but for some reason, they were not delivering their product properly. A lot of people order, I found out in better BBB, and people were not getting their shipment. That's bad.
Wow.
And they shut down their website.
Yeah.
On top of that. So lucky for me, I didn't spend my money. I wanted to spend it for my whole entire household because that's one of the best idea I've seen hands down. Problem is, the company didn't properly capitalize it because you have people higher up in the leadership role who don't know what the hell they're doing. They didn't have a gold mine. They had a diamond mine. You could have become a household name.
Yeah.
But like Anton Daniel said, shout out to Anton Daniel, you fumbled a bag. You fumbled a bag and you missed your touchdown. You were that stupid. Anton, I'm sorry I'm using your catchphrase, but you legit. I gotta use your phrase because that's exactly what happened. I'm the other half of Marvin, the settle guy. I'm more like in your face, tell you the goddamn truth guy. I'm not gonna hold back, and Marvin know me for that.
Of course, man.
Because I got tired of the nonsense for so long, I couldn't take it anymore. I am 43. I'm a granddad and a dad. So when you become a grandfather, you see things much, much different. So this young OG right here, 43 young OG, had enough other shenanigans. So on this channel, I will cut down the BS. I will call it out as I see it. So I will keep it simple for you to understand. I'm not going to speak no big, elaborated word and make you feel confused. I'm not doing that here. We having real conversation. We having real talk because you want New Yorker to come back here and do our job here. Clean your mess first before we come and do our part.
That's it.
All these ideas want to have tech come to... Remember when they want to bring Google over here to Manhattan? But yet MTA, I was working at MTA at that time. I was like, I called it out. Google's not coming here. Amazon not coming here. What do you mean? I said, dude, look at the subway. Hello. NYPD.
Exactly.
Hello. Two main factors that affect New York City. People, leaders, CEOs.
Exactly.
Entrepreneur. Before you move into New York City, ask them these two questions. When you're going to clean up MTA properly, when you're going to fix the NYPD. If they can't fix those two things, there's no need for you to bring your business over here and risk your money and risk your dollar. For what? So all your employees say, nah, I'm not coming to work because all this is going on in the MTA subway system.
Exactly.
And you got bad police officers, bad trained police officers. Like, come on. We'll talk. Let's stop the BS right now. Because what's going on. And we're not the only one that's thinking about it. Many people think about it before us. And they're saying the same exact thing, but nobody was listening. Now we're bringing it out here. We hope the video go viral so we can tell you guys in your face. Don't tell her to come back to work if you don't clean up your system first.
Exactly. A lot of people are getting fed up where they're pretty much moving out of state. So they're moving to better, more calmer, safer states. Right now, anybody could work from home. They don't have to be in New York. New York is mostly known for financial companies, big law firms here. But when it comes to like the everyday tech guy like you and me, we don't need to be in an office. You could be in Atlanta, still do your job. I could be elsewhere, still do my job. Like, nobody wants to deal with this nonsense.
You know how many times I had to walk going to these MTA subway and be like emotional, let individual to scare people because Marvel will tell you, I'm a big guy. I'm not a small dude. I'm a big dude. But 9 times out of 10, when I went to the subway, I had to get that look where I did tell people myself, like, don't come on my way. I'm not in the mood right now. I don't smile in New York City for that same reason. People have made fun of my face that when I don't smile, I look like I'm angry all the time, which I'm not. Marvin told me this thing. Plenty of people told me, say, why you don't smile? I said, why? Man, you look angry all the time. What you mean?
That's a New York thing, man. Everybody goes through that. That's just something every New York does. We understand the city. We can't go around smiling like.
It's like, come on.
We live in the city. We got to always stay on guard. That's what it is.
People have mace in their pocket. People got pocket knife in their pocket to protect themselves. People have the Swiss Army knife. All type of gadgets to keep themselves safe in New York. Because you know why? They cannot even trust the police. That's how bad that is.
Yeah,
when
man.
people had to go the X amount to protect themselves, NYPD fails. Big time. I will say it again. Mayor, if you see this broadcast, if they catch your feeling, that's why they catch your feeling. You're telling the truth in your face, hoping that you could do a better job. If you cannot take the real truth and fix up the city, then you should have never been a mayor in the first place.
You're still new in your job. You got the chance to make this city better again, but you got to clean it up.
So before you start telling people to come back to work, do your part first, then we do our part.
That's it.
Not the other way around. Do not put the cart before the horse. America has been doing that for far too long. That's why we're going down the list of countries with better infrastructure than us. If you continue to go that way, we'll continue to come down the list. Flip it around. Put the horse before the cart, not the cart before the horse. I've been seeing that mindset in this country for far too long, and they're wondering why nothing worked the way it's supposed to work. Because you're too damn stupid to see it. That's why. You're not leaders. You're just bosses. You're dictating, do this, do that. But you know it's not going to work, but you tell people to do it anyway. Like, come on. Are you drinking some lace Kool-Aid and you're getting drunk on it, you're getting tipsy? I don't drink, I don't smoke, so I don't do alcohol. I'm sorry. I'm sober as hell. I'm not high.
In a city where a criminal has more rights and a homeless person has more rights than a working individual.
Wow, you opened another can of worms right there.
That's what it is, man. That's
right there. That right there is the ultimate kryptonite. Marvin, I'm glad you brought that one up. That is the ultimate kryptonite. When you have that nonsense going on, you kill every progress in this city, period.
Exactly.
All you entrepreneurs, all you CEOs who want to bring your company in New York City, let that sink into your head. When a criminal has more right than a regular working class civilian, there's no point in bringing your business over here. It's completely backward. What they need to do is do a rain check on all these politicians coming to office who are goddamn stupid, don't know the hell they're talking about, and they're out of touch with reality. I said it. It's me.
Yeah.
If this channel go big because of me, let it be, because we here talking real truth. We're not doing talking points here. We love what we do.
Mm-hmm.
But at IT, like I said in past episode, we are diagnosing the problem. We tell you what the problem is. They enter the ticket right now.
Yeah.
You put it in the ticket in our queue, and we telling you what needs to be done before it get fixed. Now, you cannot accept the solution. Like every incident ticket we do, we send it back to the submitter group.
Yeah.
If you're not going to take the solution, then we cannot fix the problem for you.
Exactly.
So we are your tech support of your headache.
It is what it is, man.
I can't be the one. Once you bought that one right there, I was like, wow. I even overlooked that part. The guy who smeared feces in that woman's face got bailed out.
That's more right, yeah.
I'm like, are you serious? Do you think that did make any sense?
It doesn't make sense at all.
You're letting these people who disturbing the peace out more often to continue to disturb the peace. What makes you think anyone want to go to work? What makes you think everyone want to go on that damn subway again? If that happened, it was caught on tape. Like, come on.
We're New Yorkers who complain because we live here. We see it. We have every right to complain. So I don't want our viewers to think that we're bashing New York. It's just we live here.
We're not bashing. We grew up here. None of we live here. Yeah. We grew up here. Keyword. There's a difference. It's one thing you live here. But when you grew up here, you have a child, and you see the thing that you see, and they're telling you this nonsense in your face, you know how stupid that look? Like, seriously, I have to go on multiple panels on a black YouTube space, and people keep talking about Donald Trump. Why didn't Donald Trump never won New York State to begin with during the election? In the 2020 election and the 2016 election? Think about it. The man's from Queens. Like, we don't know who he is? The man got a long checkered history. For all you black folk who keep kissing Donald Trump behind, and you have these New Yorkers telling you the goddamn truth, and you still want to argue with me, then you drinking his Kool-Aid. That means you was mowing his lawn. You remember one of the Mexicans who was cutting the grass for cheap? Yes, I said it. It was only a New Yorker who know who Donald Trump really was. And we never even vote for that guy, but y'all all fall for the okie-doke. Like, are you kidding me? We grew up here. We know who he was. And yet the rest of the country fall for his okie-doke. He from here. Real New Yorker know who real New Yorker really is. We know the deal. We don't fall for the okie-doke. We get tired of this now. They will butt you to the side. But yeah, all these people in multiple YouTube channels talking this nonsense. He wouldn't never do nothing for you. He conned you out. He played you for the food. He put some lace in your Kool-Aid, you drank it, and you fell for it. This is why when we New York look at you guys, we shaking our head like, damn. He played it like Nintendo. He played it like Game Boy, and they fell for it. And you want to tell us we don't know what we're talking about? Like, come on. Are you that slow, for real? This the same pedophile who walked into the dressing room and all the pageant while these girls are either half naked or completely naked. Say, I got every right to do that. And you fall for the okie-doke? Really? Y'all want to get me started right now? Want to get this New Yorker here with me here for almost 30, 40 years? Started again? Look at this face. I'm a full-blooded New Yorker. I wasn't born here. I was raised here.
Raised here, exactly.
I didn't live here. I was raised here.
Yep.
So when we tell you something about certain people from this city and you want to argue with us, we know you got played. He bamboozled you. He played like Nintendo. You play like a Game Boy. He got the cheat code. Up, down, left, right, A, B. Boom. Cheat code activated. And he play you for a fool. And you wonder why we look at you guys like, y'all could you not see the big picture long time? Because you know why? You keep believing all that nonsense. That he sweet talk you into it. New Yorker, we don't believe with the sweet talk. You say, show me what you're talking about. You're not going to do all this sweet talk. You got to show me who you really are. When you show who you really are, we believe you. I'm from Brooklyn, man. Crown Heights. Come on. The guy from Jamaica Estate, Queens. The rich part of Queens.
Yeah.
He finally got properties in Coney Island that everybody know the history. No color person allowed to live on their property. Atlantic City, New Jersey. That Taj Mahal shopping mall, whatever he did, was an epic failure. Like Trump University, the biggest scandal ever. Like, do I have to keep on lining up everything? For you got to realize you got bamboozled? If you're not from New York, if you didn't grow up in New York, if you open your mouth about Donald Trump again in my face, I will tell you in your face, you got bamboozled, you got pimped out, you got played. The fact that you didn't see it coming is why we in New York look at you like we shake our head like, man, you played her like a damn fool. You got pimped out. No wonder you fall for his talking point.
Yeah.
Don't ever come to a New Yorker who grew up out here, who know all the hidden dirt. They don't even know what's going on in the city. And they guy from New York his damn self want to tell about something that we already know way before you. Don't do that. When we do that, we will look at you like, man, how much late did you put in that person's drink? How much date well drug he put? Remember, he said it. I could grab it by the, I'm not going to say it on the channel.
Yeah.
That means he grabbed you by the same place too. And you fell for it. And you're like, ha, 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 ha. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Let's stop the nonsense. All you guys, when you see this video, you see this episode 3. I'm not ranting. I'm trying to clear whatever smoke is in your face. Don't tell about anybody who from New York that we already know already before you even realize who he is. We know all his game. We know all his talking points. We know all how he swingle people out. He swingle a lot of third-party homegrown businesses out of their pocket and their money. This guy scam a lot of people.
Yeah.
And they hadn't paid them for their work. That's how he scammed you guys out of your own election. And you believe that nonsense. He even scammed Ice Cube. Ice Cube from Cali. Keyword. He's from Cali. He's not from New York. If Ice Cube was from New York, he will never walk up to Donald Trump. Real talk. I'm not beat Ice Cube. I'm not trying to disrespect you. No, I'm not. Yes, you from Cali. You know the folks in your neighborhood. You know how people really are in your state. Yeah. Donald Trump is from New York City. He's from New York State. We know who he really is.
Exactly.
When we're trying to tell you, we're trying to warn you guys who this guy really is, and you don't believe us, we're just going to watch you while you see how he pimped you out. Like, man, they got a good pimp game. He play all these folks like Nintendo. He put that date rug right in their drink and grabbed by you know what, and they fell for it.
Yeah.
Let's stop that, man. Really? We are passionate about what we do. When we in New York, we real about what we do.
Did you hear about his new social media app?
I heard about that several times. Nunez want to be the chairman on that damn social media app. Good luck with that.
Who's going to be the chairman?
Nunez.
Nunez? Who's Nunez?
The guy who was in Congress who helped Donald Trump several times trying to do some investigation, was suing a cow that was named after him whatsoever, who was going back and forth, like through the social media, trying to sue people. This guy from California, this white joker of an idiot, want to step down from Congress to be a chairman of Donald Trump's social media app. Good luck. Good luck with your endeavor.
Yikes.
I ain't trying to be disrespectful, but, man, people in the U.S. get too gullible too easy. They got short attention span. They won't read no more. Everybody spend too much time on social media, but don't do a lot of reading. They don't educate themselves no more these days. That's why old school, OG people like us, we catching on too easy because we read up, we educate ourselves, we know the history. When Maya Angelou said what she said, when a person show who you really are, that's who they really are. The man already showed New Yorker who you really are for more than 3 decades. His father was worse.
Oh, yeah, I heard his father was worse.
So, anyone you got out there outside New York City who don't know about this dude, don't be coming on the platform and talk about, oh, he think we'll do X, Y, and D. Just know that he did play you guys. He played a lot of businesses. This the man who owed more than $1 billion worth of bad taxes and never paid it. Too many people are falling for the okie doke so easy in this nation. I'm like, wow. And remember I told you the conversation about you about the social media, how it had to become so far, because one of the first social media out there during that time was collegeclub.com. Back in the late 90s, I had to work for them when I was going to BMCC. Collegeclub.com was a tool that was used for the right thing, but the people who run that tool run down to the ground. It was an excellent tool. It was growing fast. They opened a brand for highschoolclub.com for high school students. And out of nowhere, I've been on so many social media websites over the years, from College Club, and you have some of the Yahoo groups, then you have Black Planet, Agante Planet, Asian Planet, you have High Five, you have Tag. As I never these lists, people don't know about that. They might be
those, I remember High Five. Those were like the first social media.
Friendster.com. When MySpace came out there, it was sold for like $500 million. Around that time, YouTube got bought out for $1.something billion. Come on, I don't forget these stuff. Come on, we text. This is what we do for a living. You got to know what's going on in the tech world. You can't be naive. So this is Donald Trump's social media?
Yeah, this is the social media, the Truth Social,
aka fake news social.
It's already ranked 10th in the social media networking app. So
you know that fought at the time. You know that, right?
Yeah. That's probably paid reviews and shit like that. So
this is so funny on many levels, on many scales. Like, people don't want to comprehend the truth what we be talking about. I know this is a tech channel. We talk about tech every once in a while or a lot of time, but we have to connect the pieces.
Yeah,
gotta let you guys know what the hell is going. We are New Yorkers. Real talk. We ain't fake about it.
Yeah, this is the guy who basically, swindled the election, got into office, got kicked out of office, and now he basically launched his own social network and
to spend you out of your pocket.
Yeah.
After Trump University did not work, the Thomas Hart did not work, China had his own so-called NFL that did not should we line up all the bits that didn't work so far yet? Shall we?
We might have to. Yeah, let's do it.
What happened to the multi-lawsuit against Trump University when he got scammed out? The Taj Mahal, epic failure. He was trying to make his own NFL version of the NFL. Didn't work. Epic failure.
Epic failure.
Like, come on. His business had no board of director. He run everything by himself. His son and daughter were kissing his behind. How many family businesses you know out there that have board of director? GM, Ford, the Rockefeller. Don't they have board of directors in there? They keep check and balance in place?
Checks and balance, yeah.
Trump business had no check and balance. He was scamming and robbing people left and right. He had his staff to rewrite his value. He's being heavily investigated for scamming New York State out of funding. He owned over $500 million in back taxes. Like, how much do we have to say to let you know you got bamboozled? Or that TV show back then, you got punked.
You got punked, yeah. Yeah, man.
Dude, you got my brain working heavy right now. My brain's overclocked now. It's going on 5.8 gigahertz right now. That's under my own i9 processor that I have in my PC. Real talk. I'm talking that tech talk right now. I got an i9 processor that's supposed to be 3.6 gigahertz. That's overclocked to 4.7. And my brain going 5.8 gigahertz right now. You got me going crazy right now. That tech talk right there.
So a long history of failed businesses, including the presidency. He failed at that. He failed at that big time.
The guy was monitored by the FBI for 3 decades while he was a private citizen. The moment he got into public office, they opened the door for him to pry to his everyday living, what he been doing for the past 3 decades and then some. They connecting on the dot, they follow all the breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
And we New Yorker knew when he did that, it was like, oh, well, let's see how you get out of this one. Let's see how you talk yourself out of this one now. You want to rewrite the law? That's why I say we need to start talking about the school system teaching civic lesson properly again. I remember going to elementary school, we were taught civil lesson in the 2nd grade. We were taught about the Constitution in the 2nd, 3rd grade, right?
Yeah.
Didn't the Constitution say about treason, about what a person do in a particular office if he betrayed his country, betrayed his nation, shared out secret to other nation? What the crime for that?
That's automatic death right there.
Okay. Now that we're talking. Because here with the problem when we have in a country that don't read no more, don't want to read, that spend too much time on social media. Yet I said that. We had 2 tech here who had to read on a daily basis to keep their game up. We in the tech world, you got to be knowledgeable what you're talking about. You got to read, so you got to study. Learn new technology that had to come out, had to be pumped out. So we get ourselves prepared in our own corporate that we work for. This is the field that you had to read until you retire.
You got to read, and then you got to what you read, you got to take into practice. You got to do your labs. You got to figure out step by step. It's not just reading. You got to dissect it from the reading, then take it to the lab.
As you want to climb up in the tech world, new technology, it requires more books. Some of us got like 30 plus tech books in our closet, in our shelf. Some got even more than that. Here's the bad part. Everyone in the tech field, don't even throw out their book. They keep it.
They keep it. Facts, man. Facts.
Real talk.
I can't.
I have every tech book from the old A plus back in the 2000 to now.
Yeah.
Every knowledge in their book are very valuable because you know what? It shows a pathway how technology have changed over years.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're gonna come down the pipeline. We talk the way we talk because this what we love to do. They will keep our brain going strong. They keep the juice in our brain clicking. When you are a tech, it's not tech by talk, it's tech by action.
Yeah.
That's why I link my LinkedIn profile for every job I've worked in. You can see for yourself. Yeah, they should make fun of me when I say I've been in the tech world for 20 years. Yes, I've been in the tech world for 20 years, but I can show for it. I can show and tell. Not everything when I was doing desktop support, I did migration, man. I did application support. I dib and dab in different areas to get some better understanding, to build up my resume.
Exactly.
When you're in the tech world, you keep on building experience upon experience upon experience. By the time you get seasoned, you start to understand things better, you know how to analyze situations quicker and more effective, more efficient. That's one of the main factors of being a tech, to think on your feet. If you cannot think on your feet in real time, then that's a problem. Sometimes you can read a ticket and you know the problem, exactly what it is because you had that experience in that area, you know it, and you call it out. Even though some people who will be above you don't have the experience, tell you how you do your job, but you already know what it is already. Real talk. This is what happened in our job. There's some people above us in leadership position don't have the hands-on experience that we have at times and tell us how to do our job when we don't know the hell what we're talking about.
Yeah, that is true.
That lead to tech burnout. That'll be for another episode.
Yeah, that's going to be another episode, a long series. I think a 5-part, maybe a 5-part.
It ain't going to be no 5-part. I'm calling some of my coworkers who have burned out, who walk away from the field, who they don't want to do it no more. We will bring them over here so they can share their experience because it ain't going to be no 5-part. This is something you're going to make it a big deal because we did talk about mental health for the past how many years, but never had said anything about the tech world. We need to put it a magnifying glass on the tech world. Tech burnout is real, but it's not no joke. You can't talk about mental health when you don't talk about tech burnout.
That's true. That's true.
These are hits, what we're going to touch on a deeper level and take our time to dissect. There are developers who burn themselves out, working 12, 18 hours, don't even go home. They sleep in the office, working on application. After a while, they can't do it no more. They walk away, they retire, they're done with it because of corporate pressure.
We're definitely going to get into that. We'll expand on it as much as possible, but we're definitely going to get into that next episode. So keep those ideas in there. We don't want to give it away right now, so...
No problem. As I'm saying this, we're throwing our hint on the series that's coming up real soon because we want to get your attention because we love what we do. Not everything will be always tech talk, but we're connected with tech talk in many levels because tech is connected to everywhere.
Yeah.
In the bank, in the law firm, in the school, in the police department, in the hospital, you name it, we're connected everywhere. In retail.
Exactly. Where
every aspect of your life is involving tech.
Exactly.
You got TV, you got smartphone, you got computer, you got printers, refrigerator that you technology. Come on.
Yeah.
Should I go on with this thing?
Now let's hold on to it, man.
I know
we got more. We got more episodes coming up.
Give me some taste of what we want to talk about.
Yeah.
In deeper level to explain why what we do for a living is very important. We want to be having this conversation because we know that for years the pay have not been doing the title justice.
Ah, okay.
We have this talk for years. You and I, Mark, we know that. We had it talk for years. They make us look like our job is not that important. And here's the real talk. At Tech, we have no union.
Are you saying that, we should form a union?
I'm saying tech should have a union, no different from the nurses should have a union. No different from the engineers, the construction have a union. They are skilled trade. We're skilled trade too, you know?
Yeah.
So you
It's a
can't say what we
trade
do
job.
is different from what they do. And how come we have no union?
Interesting.
That'll be for another conversation.
Let's touch a little bit, then close out. Let's touch about pay rate. So do you think the pay rate is due to the city that we're in?
That's part of the factor, part of it.
Yeah.
Because remember, you and I worked at UBS, and we were told how the yesteryear techs dropped the ball. And because they dropped the ball, they decided to take advantage to reduce the rate of the titles that we have. And when we reduced the rate, we start to work much harder than we were supposed to be doing, which is true.
Yeah.
Then if you look back into it, we start to realize there was a disconnect between the tech and the business.
Yeah.
People who have no background in tech trying to dictate how our job is supposed to be, and they think they know
That
how
are
to do
making
our
the
job.
decisions. Yeah. The issue with that is, okay, so you're saying cost of living in New York is high, so our pay should be equally as much.
But not just that, the schooling.
Uh-huh.
People going to school to be tech, and how much they pay out of their pocket for the books, for the certification exams, etc.
Yeah.
You didn't have to talk about where we start looking at the price of these certifications you have to take, or these schools you have to go to get your degree in, and how much it costs, how much money you invest in it. Then when you invest all this much into these career path, you getting paid almost close to next to nothing for all that work you put in, all that money you invest in, the student loan you took out. Like, am I wrong? Tell me if I'm wrong.
So another issue could be that the tech doesn't know how to represent himself well enough.
It could be that
to
too.
ask for. Could be that too. So there's a number of issues within the tech field, like when it comes to pay. But that's an interesting subject that you say that we don't have a union.
News reporter got union.
News reporters got unions, yeah.
Actor got unions. Nurses got union. Doctor got union. Construction worker got union. Plumbers got union. Electrician got union. Shall we go on? All these skilled trades got union that protect.
Police officers got unions.
Thank you. Firefighter got unions.
Principals got unions.
Teacher got unions.
Unions, yeah.
But we, the backbone and most of these people profession, got no union.
There's a few developers working at either a game company or maybe Google. They're trying to form a tech union. So I'm gonna see if I could follow up and find out who they are. Maybe get them on.
You and I talked about it for almost a decade already. We were saying about it. We're the head of the game. Talking about something's wrong with this picture. Every other skilled trades got union, but that we support multiple of these skilled trades got no union. Why is that?
That's a good question. That is a good question.
But that'll be for another episode when we'll have the time. We get all our point across and all the facts out there, why this is not happening, why that's not happening, so we can really have an in-depth conversation. And you may have some guests on the panel as well, because it's not just us that was thinking that. There's other people inside that were thinking the same thing too, asking the same or close to the same question, because as we trying to grow this channel, this SMB Corner podcast, this channel combines two channels on YouTube, Nexus Clouds and Canadian Born Nigerian.
Yeah.
We're doing it because this is what we love. We have so much passion in this field in our study. We realize no one is talking these conversations that we have out in the front. So we be in the forefront right now. No, we're not live yet. We understand that, but we're trying to get more content out there before we go live. And the reason why we are doing this right now, because as you watch this video, if you have any comment, if you have any question, any concern, please put it in the comment section, either on my channel or on his channel. And when we see those solid questions, we can answer these questions, we'll do a recap. I talked about it before we started recording, because we realized something. We want to answer your concern about the tech world. If you want to go into why you want to go into what kind of path you can take, because we need to start having this conversation now.
Serious conversation.
We got a young generation who want to get into this field, and they have no clue about it yet. They only go based on what they see in the school or in the trade school they go to. What about the people who have got experience and still working there? Are they interacting with these people? Are they able to have their question answered? We need to do something like this now. This is why we're creating this channel in the Black YouTube space. We want to open the gate for conversation, for dialogue.